Fisk unit. Fisk unit. Fisk unit. Yeah, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Giants Outsiders podcast, episode 48. You are now rocking with the hardest voice of sports, the muscle of the Giants community, Fist Vegas, and I'm joined by my co-host, the 60-minute man, the sharpest sports bettor on the planet, my man Kyle Pizzle. What's happening, man?
What up, Fist? Good to chat with you again. I think we gave somebody told me that I think I gave like 4 games out last week. I think I got 3 out of 4 right.
Oh, okay.
So somebody messaged me. It was like, "Hey man, Pizzle, you made me some money last week. Thank you." So it was good to see that. It was good to see something good came out of last weekend other than the damn Giants.
Yeah, I think I took the Giants out. We got to push. I got to push it.
We got to push. Yeah, we actually
got to push.
Yeah, but still, man, they should have won the game. And I'm sure both of us got a lot to say about that. I actually think you and I are going to be on the same page on some things tonight because we're definitely going to be sharing some similar frustration about this team and thoughts about them.
Yeah, other than Daniel Jones coming back, I think you and I are pretty much going to be on the same page this week. There's nothing really to argue with this Giants team. It's point blank. A lot of what's going on with the Giants right now, it can't even be debated. Mistakes have been made. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, I mean, Fisk, and maybe I should start out with the opening rant here. I know we like to kind of open. We have like a little rant to start out with, and it's interesting because we've watched now the Giants play last 3 games without Daniel Jones, right? And there has been some frustrations about Daniel Jones's play. Completely understandable this year, right? Man's getting $40 million a year. You expect him to play well, yada yada yada. Now, obviously, availability is something that Daniel most definitely has to improve, and if he can improve that, then I don't know how I feel about him being the quarterback of the team going forward. Just be quite blunt about it. I mean, you got to be out there in order to help the team win, right? If you're constantly getting hurt, whether it's the fault of your own or not, it's something that's got you're playing football, right? We're playing tackle football. We're watching them play tackle football. It's something you gotta be able to handle. Every year there's always, I think Brady had a year where he was out for the whole year, like he got that knee injury, but most of his career he was out there, right? Peyton Manning, most of his career he was out there. So, but nevertheless, I get the frustration each game where people have bitched about Daniel Jones, but we've seen 3 games where Daniel hasn't been out there, and 2 of the 3, I've about damn lost my mind. And Daniel's got nothing to do with that. And what I've lost my mind about the fact of it, Bisk, all comes down to the coaching staff and the decision making. And that has nothing to do with Daniel Jones. That has nothing to do with the quarterback. That has everything to do with the fact of what's the decision making for the men that are on the field, right? This is the Buffalo Bills game. We should have won that game, Fisk. We should have won that we should have beat Buffalo. That's the would. I understand woulda, coulda, shoulda. I got that. Fisk, we should have beat the Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets, even the Jets game, we should have won the damn game. We should be 4-4 right now. And I understand that's not a pretty record, but that's what we should be.
Did enough to beat the Dolphins too. 3 turnovers, pick 6.
But I can make obviously a case a lot easier, right, with Buffalo and with Buffalo and the Jets, especially the Jets. When there's like 24 seconds to go in the game and you're leading and the team's backed up, they got no timeouts, they got technically a backup quarterback. Like the game should be over, Fisk. That's like a 98%, 99% chance to win the game, period. And you find a way to fuck the game up. And what kills me about it is, and I've said this in multiple videos now that I've already made, whether my post-game video or the video I made this week, You've watched multiple games now where you've got 1 yard to get. 1
Yeah.
yard. It's 1 fucking yard. Whether it's Buffalo or the Jets, you got 1 damn yard to get. Fuck a field goal. Like, I don't
Oh, you think he should have went for it?
Fisk, it's 4th and 1. Think about this scenario. Think about the math. Fisk, if you kick a field goal and you go up 16-10, I get it. The other team has to score a touchdown. They have to go the length of the field. But you still give them an opportunity to win the game, Fisk. They still have an opportunity to win. Why? Because there's still more time. They have the ball. A miracle can happen. We have watched football long enough to realize that unbelievable can happen. It can. A Hail Mary can happen. Unbelievable can happen. If you go for it right there, Fisk, and you give the ball to Saquon and you get the first down, the game is over. They can't come back. The clock runs out. It's over. The game is over. So you're telling me you have 2 opportunities to kick a field goal and the game is still on the line, or you have an opportunity to go for it and win the game? Fuck the Jets. Fuck what they've been talking about. We're going for it and we're going to try to win the game. And this is the issue that I have, Fisk, is that 1 year ago, I was in Nashville when we played the Titans, week 1. Fisk, we didn't settle for the extra point. We went for it, for the 2-point conversion to take the lead. That's what we did. That's what Brian Dable's first game as a head coach said, I'm going to put my nuts on the table and go for it. 13 months later, 14 months, whatever it is, now we're playing scared ball, or we don't even let the quarterback throw the ball. We don't even go for it on 1 yard. What are we doing? What are you like? What do you mean? Like, what happened in the matter of 13 to 14 months that you went from, I'm going to go for it here, I'm going to hand the ball to Saquon, let him make a play, to, oh, let's roll Graham Gano out here and just leave it out there? I'm not sitting here saying all this, Fist, because I'm like, hey, we need to fire this coach. I'm not saying that. But the coaching staff, to me, on Sunday was an utter embarrassment. And I don't even want to talk about Martindale because I thought our defense played good. But offensively, I don't want to listen about Daniel Jones because it's not even, to me, forget about Daniel Jones for a moment. I've watched him play 3 games now where I don't know what the fuck the game plan is offensively, and to watch them be so damn scared. If they don't have the nuts to go for it, Fisk, on a 4th and 1, why would I even sit here and assume that they are allowing Daniel to even throw the ball 30, 40 yards down the field? They've already shown me that they're scared to death to play. They've already shown me that they're scared to death to even take chances. Like, it's embarrassing. It's a joke. It makes me fucking sick. And then Brian Dable's got enough nuts to stand up there on the podium after the game and say, "Well, we had an opportunity to stop them at the end of the game." You're gonna put it on the defense that gave you an opportunity all game long to win the game. You're gonna blame the defense at the end? Like, I'm not even a big Adoree Jackson fan, but obviously that's a bullshit, terrible pass interference call in overtime. But he shouldn't even be in that situation, Fisk. The offense should have went for it in the 4th quarter with 25 seconds to go, whatever it was. Give the ball to Saquon, go win the game. But instead, they played scared. They played scared. That's what happened. When you play scared, you lose. Scared money don't make money, Fisk. Scared money don't make money. Everybody knows that. And so it's bullshit. I'm sitting there watching this game, and that's the second time I've seen this point. Fisk, I saw it in Buffalo. You were right there at the 1 yard line. You multiple times in that game, and you fucked it up. And then you do this. Like, you should be 4-4 right now if you just if you potentially hand the ball to Saquon. This is what bothers me too. And I'm almost done, Fisk. Everybody knows that at every level, whether it's Pee-wee, any sport, at the end of the game, when the game is on the line, Fisk, what do? You give is LeBron James taking the last shot or not, Fisk?
You're right.
Is Michael Jordan taking the last shot of the game or not, Fisk? Huh?
You're right.
Okay. Explain to me why Graham Gano is taking the last shot of the game for us. instead of
because
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley ain't Michael Jordan or LeBron.
Oh, okay. If you want, that's a different debate, Fisk, and maybe
No,
you're
no, no,
right.
no, no, no. That is the debate because
No, okay.
they
That's
don't believe in him. If they believed in
okay.
Saquon Pizzle, they give him the ball.
Okay, but is Saquon okay? You're right. That's a great point. I might agree with you on that. But is he the best player when Daniel Jones is out of the game and Andrew Thomas is out of the game? Is Daniel Jones the best player on the field offensively for the Giants?
Yep.
Okay, then why are you not giving him the damn ball?
Because they don't believe in him, and that's why I don't know why he didn't get. John Amara should have let them trade him. They don't believe in him.
And I understand Saquon. Like, I understand he's going to say all the right things. But when Marshawn Lynch didn't get the ball in the Super Bowl at the 1 yard line, he let him know that was bullshit.
Yeah, Pete Carroll Saquon's not that kind of guy.
I don't get,
have
like,
a dog in our locker room. Saquon's not that kind of guy.
Someone's got to step up, Fizz. Someone's got to be a fucking leader, and that's how you be a leader. Say, hey, man, I should have got the damn ball there at the end of the game. Period.
Nah, they cleansed the locker room of the guys who like to speak out. Like, anybody who will voice their opinion when things ain't going right, the locker room's been cleansed of those guys. Like the OBJs, the Jack Rabbits, like all those guys, like they're not here anymore. The Golden Tates, anybody who would remotely criticize the coaching staff when they do dumb stuff is gone. We don't have those kind of people anymore. We got a locker room full of choir boys.
Well, that's disappointing, Fizz. Because again, like, it's frustrating as a fan to watch this. And I understand that the negative fans love to have this opportunity to be negative, right? Just be negative. Like, your life is fucking miserable. And so you get to bring your miserable bullshit to the head of the table and put it out on how shitty the Giants are. Okay, like, this is your time to shine. My time to shine was last year when we were winning, and our record was basically reversed this time last year. And now it's their time to be miserable fucking people, and they get to cry and all this and that bullshit. But it's like, it's miserable. It pisses me off because, again, I'm looking at my team and I say this team should be 4-4. They should be, and you can't say that to nobody because that's like, well, they ain't that. You are what your record is. But it's all stupid because where is my coach? And how is it this, Fisk? Why is it you're gonna put a guy out there to play quarterback and you ain't taught him at all? You ain't taught him nothing, Fisk, to throw a football?
Man, that's the part that annoyed me. I wasn't mad at Graham Gano.
How do you have a quarterback how do you put a quarterback out there that you I understand the weather's bad. It's raining. Jets defense good. I got all that. I understand. But how do you put a quarterback out there that you don't let him throw one fucking time at the end of the game to at least try to win, go for the win? Like, you don't try one time. If he throws an interception, so fucking what? Go for the win. Go for the fucking win.
That's where he lost me, because at that point, what you're essentially saying is the guy, he shouldn't be on the roster.
But then
if you don't trust him to throw a 10-yard pass, then he shouldn't be on the roster at all.
Yeah.
That's basically what they're telling me. So
why do you give him a jersey?
So with the Brian Dable situation, when it comes to DeVito, like, if you don't trust this dude to run a simple play action offense, he shouldn't even be in the league, let alone on our team. Brian Dable,
all spring and summer, Fisk.
Brian Dable got cute. He knew the Jets weren't moving a damn ball, so he just tried to get the game over with as quick as possible. He didn't want no mistakes. Brian Dable he outthought himself. He really did. He got super conservative. He outthought himself. And my thing is this: we just paid Graham Gano a lot of money. If he can't make a chip shot field goal, Pizzle, that's not Brian Dable fault. Like, and as far as I'm concerned, if he's playing hurt, he still should be able to hit that kick. I'm sorry, that kick, that's a chip shot for him.
Fist, I got
that kick.
I got that, Fist, but I'm gonna say, but I still go on the fact of, like, I want Saquon to go try to win the game, then fucking Graham. Because again, now if they were up 6, if they were winning by 6 and you kick a field goal to make it 9, that's a different thing. That's a completely different thing. But you're still giving the Jets a chance, an opportunity to go win the game, albeit have to drive the whole field. But if you go for it there and you get the first down, you win the game. It's over. Like, you get 1 yard, Fisk, 1 damn yard. That's it. That's all you got to do is get 1 yard.
Nah, I feel you, but they don't trust Saquon. If they trusted Saquon, he'd have got the ball in Buffalo.
If you're up 4, Fisk, if you're up 4 or 5 and you kick it and say, if you're up 5 and you kick it and make it 8, where they have to score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion, I'm okay with it there too. But again, you're only kicking it to make it a 6-point game where a touchdown, an extra point, they win the game. Man, fuck that. Go for it. Win the game. Give it to Saquon. Win the game. Try to win the game that way. I can live with that. I can say, okay, well, you took a chance. It didn't work. I can live with that. But you didn't give me that in Buffalo, Fisk. When they were on the 1 yard line, you tried some bullshit play to Darren Waller. It didn't work. Like, and then you have another opportunity 2 weeks later to make it right, and you don't do it. Like, it's frustrating.
Because the truth of the matter is, he does not trust Saquon Barkley. Because if he trusted Saquon Barkley, Saquon would get the ball in all these situations.
And I'm going to say this too, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me or not, and I don't give a shit. And anybody that's in the fucking chat, they don't agree with me, I don't give a shit either. If you got Daniel Jones, you beat Buffalo and you beat the Jets. You would have beat both teams. But here's the thing. I know that, again, that's woulda, coulda, shoulda shit. And that's where I'm frustrated with Daniel, because your ass needs to be out there. You need to find a way to stay healthy, and you're not. And so that's something that I'm frustrated with. And I don't know what his, I don't know his health. I don't know what condition that's in.
They won't tell us.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. That's, to me, there is something internally so fucking wrong with this organization that I have no idea what to even think anymore, because the Daniel Jones thing is as confusing as it gets, because there's, he got clearance Sunday morning, but they were already past deadline of being able for him to play. And then now, he was going to play week 10. Maybe they were waiting for Andrew Thomas to get back out there. Now, all of a sudden he's playing the Raider game. And it's just like, what? Who the fuck is running the show? And what are they doing? I'm so lost at all of this. I'm extremely lost. But again, I think if Daniel would have been out there for both the Jet game and the Buffalo game, they'd be 4-4. But you can't see. That's another thing that's frustrating, is like, if you win those 2 games and you get Danny back, your whole season, because Fist, the last time Saquon and Daniel were on the field together was in Arizona. That was the last time. And they were doing some really good things together. And so if you would have been 4-4, or hell, even 3-5, then you could say, all right, we can try to make a run. But now you're 2-6. You're so behind the damn 8 ball. And yeah, Saquon's right. It's still all in front of them. But holy shit, they got to damn near run the damn table.
Is it though?
Man, I don't. Fisk. It's so frustrating to me, because you still got to play the Cowboys 1 more time. You still got to play the Eagles 2 more times. Now, granted, one of the Eagle games is going to be the last game of the season, which means there's a good chance Eagle players will probably rest, right? So it's probably not as bad as it really could be. But there's not a lot of great teams on the schedule. But let's be honest. I will say this about the Giants, and you can agree with me on this, because we have a sample size of this, of last year and this year. The Giants do 2 things. They don't beat playoff teams, and they beat non-playoff teams. Look at what they did last year, and look at what they're doing this year.
In fairness, last year, Pizza, we did beat Green Bay and Baltimore.
You're right. There is a couple, but we never lost. We didn't lose to teams that were not playoff teams, non-playoff teams. We didn't do that. Now, granted, we did tie with Washington or whatever, but if you look at what they've done so far this year, every team that they've pretty much lost to is a playoff team. And I believe the Jets have a playoff defense. I think the Jets are arguably a playoff team. I think there's a reason why Aaron Rodgers is trying to get his ass back out there because he realizes they're a really good team. But when you look at the two teams the Giants have beat this year, the Washington and Arizona, they're not playoff teams. They're not. So, in my opinion, yeah, they could beat the Raiders. Could they beat the Cowboys? The last year and a half shows that they can't. Can they beat the Packers? Yeah. Can they beat the Pats? Yeah. Can they beat the Rams? Maybe. Like, they're non-playoff.
We're not losing to the Rams. The Rams is trash. But here's the thing.
My point being is, Fist, is they've shown that they beat non-playoff teams. At least
but I want to get back to what you said, though. When you said that, you said Saquon Barkley said it's all ahead of us.
Yeah.
The motherfucker might be right. Because I'm looking at the wild card standings and like, I mean, shit. We only 2 games out of the wild card.
100%, Fist.
And Minnesota just lost their quarterback. So I'm looking at it like,
but here's what I'm
got a fucking good point.
Here's what he's right. But here's the problem with that, Fisk. And everybody that's in the chat surely agrees with me. We've been playing that fucking game for the last decade. Remember when the NFC East was the NFC least? And we were all like, oh, we in it. Like,
the Cowboys and Eagles are just astronomically better than everybody in the conference. It's not just us. It's not like, oh, it's just, it's the the Cowboys and Eagles are in a class by themselves. Even the 49ers getting exposed lately because their quarterback ain't shit. But here's what I'm trying to say, Pizzle. We really, if you told me Daniel Jones is going to play the rest of the season, we're getting that wild card spot. Because Minnesota lost their quarterback. Baker's not good. The Rams lost their quarterback.
I got
Green Bay's not good.
I understand.
Derek Carr's not good.
I understand. I got it, Fisk.
The Giants.
That's what's frustrating about those 2 games, though, Fisk. Like, it would have been nice to get 1 or 2.
We can't get mad at that anymore. What's done is done. We can't get mad at that no more. We got to look forward. And looking forward, if our $40 million quarterback is healthy and our defense continues to play the way it's been playing, there's no reason why we shouldn't get that wild card spot.
And truth be told, I don't think that trading Leonard Williams to me was a sign that they were selling. That to me, that doesn't mean.
No, we just had to take that pick. That was just too good.
We need it. Well, no, it's a great. First of all, it's a great trade in the fact that you basically got more value than when you got him. And yeah, you're going to eat the contract, but you're going to eat that contract anyways with him being on the team. So you get a second round pick, and the likelihood now is, Fisk, you're going to have 3 picks in the top 60 come draft time, right? Because I think Seattle could maybe make the playoffs, but
they're going to the playoffs.
But with that being said, like, you're going to get 3 picks in the top 60, which means you can potentially transform your team in some capacity. And I'm not as crucial about Joe Shane's draft picks as others are, because I think, like Banks, for example, I think he's a great pick. I think Kayvon had a great game on Sunday. Kayvon was really good on Sunday. I really liked his game. Evan Neal, I mean, we're all frustrated with Evan Neal, so there ain't nothing to be said about that. But nevertheless, like, I think having 3 picks in the top, in the first 2 rounds will be nice. Like, that'd be really nice. But they have younger guys like that can step up and fill in that role for Leonard Williams. But look, the thing is, Fist, like, I need the Giants. If you can go out and beat the Raiders, which is something that they can do, and you can go out and compete with the Cowboys 2 weeks later, then, like, man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to roll again. But this team has been so frustrating, especially the last 3 weeks. It's just eating me. They're just eating me alive. They truly are.
Hit the like button, please. We got 100 people in here. We need to get to 100 likes. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Support the show. Support the channel. Hit the like button. I think the last 3 weeks have been frustrating, but we haven't had Danny. So anything that's happened since we've lost Danny, I'm halfway with it. I'm not going to get too upset over anything that happens when Daniel Jones isn't here.
And I'm gonna tell you this, Fizz, and just to play this scenario, right? If it let's say Danny comes back this week and we're 2-6. And let's say the Giants somehow find a way in the playoffs, even if it's not with a good record, right? But they find a way. There is nothing else that as a Daniel Jones supporter, you want to talk about a nice leg to stand on. If Daniel comes back and finds a way to get him to the playoffs, that's a hell of a leg to stand on. Even if it's not a good, because you can say
our guy. We just need to make sure we have an insurance policy just in case he gets hurt. Daniel Jones, nothing has changed on my opinion of Danny. I still think he's a top 5 quarterback when he's right. It's just that this season, this offensive line, nobody's prospering behind this offensive line. But my thing with Daniel Jones is the neck is no joke. We need to draft his insurance policy because that neck is no joke. I've ever draft a second-round quarterback and never have to use him than him not be on the roster. Period. We need to take a quarterback in the second round. So if something goes wrong with Danny, we're not up shit's creek without a paddle.
Well, it's funny to me because I definitely hear people talking about how like, oh well, Jones he's not a Dable and Joe Shane guy, and the only reason he's on the roster is because Mara got in at the midnight hour and got his contract done. But why can't the roles be reversed in that? Why can't Jones be like, nah, I don't really care for Dable or Joe Shane. I don't trust him. And maybe that's why he plays the way he plays, because he's like, he don't trust the coaching staff to do their job. I mean, the coaching staff has shown the last 2 to 3 weeks that that offensively they ain't the brightest. I mean, they ain't the brightest. I mean, I don't know how in the world you get down to 4th and 1 or 1 yard in 2 games and you don't know what to do. I don't get that. That part doesn't comprehend with me at all. And then not to mention it happened twice in the Buffalo game. Like it just doesn't make sense. Defensively, again, I think for the last month of the season, the defense has played exceptional, really good. I feel bad for the defense, honestly, Fisk, because like they're playing at a really high level. They're playing at a playoff level. The defense is. But this offense is just so atrocious, so bad, like just so frustrating. Even when we get decent offensive line play, Fisk, they ran Saquon like fucking 36 times on Sunday. I mean, they ran him a shit ton on Sunday
and that's still lost because Saquon doesn't equate to wins.
And Saquon, like I don't mind Saquon, but Saquon needs help just like anybody else. He needs help. He can't win the game on his own. He needs his Batman to his Robin, if you will, which is Daniel Jones. Like he needs that. Like they have to work together. They have to be a unit together. I mean, I don't know, man. I am beyond frustrated. And I mean, I'm optimistic about the Raider game because Raiders are clearly dysfunctional. I hate that Antonio Pierce has got to coach his first game against the Giants. I was an Antonio Pierce fan. I don't know about you.
Me too. Same here.
I loved Antonio Pierce.
Number 58, baby.
Loved Antonio Pierce. I loved the long sleeves, the visor. Like I just loved his style and then his leadership. To me, I was an Antonio Pierce fan, and I wasn't really a big Antonio Pierce. Like when he first came in as a free agent, like I was kind of skeptical of him. But man, he really completely won me over, and he's going to be. I don't know if he's going to be a great coach, but I think it's cool that he's getting an opportunity. And it's who knows how that will go against the Giants, in terms of going against the Giants. But it's just like, man, I need to see a good game from the Giants. Yeah, Saquon and DJ need each other. That's just facts. Like I don't know why people don't understand that. Like they need each other. Saquon, Daniel has shown that he needs Saquon because Saquon was out when Daniel, and Saquon has shown too that he needs Daniel. Like that's
we're not losing to the Raiders though. Like I'm just letting you know, Pizzle, we're not losing to the Raiders.
No, I don't. I'm not
As
saying we
long
are.
as Daniel Jones is healthy, we're not losing to. If that offensive line blocks for Danny the way it's blocking for Tyrod the past 3 weeks, we're gonna put some points up in Vegas.
In
Well, I mean,
fact,
we're going to put some points up.
Fist, like I said a minute ago, this is what the Giants have been doing the last year and a half. They beat non-playoff teams. They do. They beat but they don't beat playoff teams at a regular, consistent basis. They just don't. And the thing, you want to tell what's frustrating to me too, Fizz? I know I'm talking a lot, but I got a lot to say.
Oh no, you're good because you know what I am, so you
But
good.
I'm a shit talker, Fizz. I think you are a little bit too. Maybe not to the level I am. I like to do a little bit more than you do. You like to do your firing squad, right? Which is cool. But I'm seeing Eagle fans and Cowboy fans, like they're mixing it up. They're talking shit. Like I want to get in that. I want to be a part of that. I want to have a team that I can stand behind and say, hey, this is my squad. They're gonna mess y'all up. We can't say that, Fizz. We can't say nothing. We got no legs to stand on whatsoever. And they're like, if we went over there and started talking shit, they just laugh at us.
Yeah, they
Like,
do.
who you talking to? Like, your team's 2-6. Like, your team is 2-6. Like, who you talking to? It's just frustrating. Like that process of it too, because it's like when is our, like, I can't believe it's the Cowboys. You're right. The Cowboys Eagles are probably the best two teams in the NFC. Like, I don't even know what the 49ers really are right now. But Cowboys and Eagles, like, they look like the two best teams in the NFC. And we got to share a division with them. And we can't get 1 yard. That's frustrating, man.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, we're probably if you told me Daniel Jones was gonna play the remainder of the season, we're probably gonna get that wild card spot. If Daniel Jones plays the remainder of the season and the offensive line is competent, we're probably gonna catch Minnesota for that playoff spot. That third wild card spot in the NFC might have like 10 losses, damn near 10 losses. So just letting y'all know that now. If y'all go to the standings and you look at the teams competing for that third wild card spot, it's gonna be a 9 or 10 loss team. I mean, the Saints, Green Bay, Minnesota, all these teams competing for that third wild card spot are not good. They're not good. So don't sleep on the Giants. If Daniel Jones is healthy and the offensive line does him any favors, we're gonna compete for that wild card spot. Our defense is too good. That's the problem. Our defense is too good. We don't suck enough to bottom out. That's the problem. We don't suck enough to bottom out. So just be honest with yourselves here, people. I've ever make the playoffs than get the 12th pick in the draft. Because that's all that's gonna happen. Like with Daniel Jones coming back, it reeks of 12th pick of the draft type shit. If he just comes out here and wins us a couple games, fucks up the draft, we might as well make the playoffs. There's no point. We're not going to be bad enough to get one of the top quarterbacks in the draft. We're just not going to be bad enough. So we might as well go ahead and try and make a playoff run.
I don't know why that, I don't even, the only way you're getting a top 2 pick quarterback, Fisk, at this point with the team that they got, you're gonna have to sell the farm. You're gonna have to sell a shit ton. You're gonna have to sell a shit ton of picks. Like, you're gonna have to give up 3 first rounders. It's what you're gonna have to do, Fisk. You can do it. Like, you can do it, but the market is clearly gonna be, there's gonna be a lot of teams that are gonna want to hide. I don't even know why that even gets talked about. I really don't. Because clearly
we sucked.
No, I get that. I get that, Fist. We're 2-6. I understand you are what your record is. I get that. But they're not going to be, Arizona is not going to win many games this year. I mean, they're not going to win many.
Now, well, Kyler's coming back, so
Yeah,
they're probably going to win some games. Kyler's going to make sure they don't draft his
know.
replacement.
Maybe.
Kyler will make sure they don't draft his replacement. That's what's going to fuck Arizona up. Kyler's going to make sure they don't draft his replacement. Same thing with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is going to make sure we don't draft his replacement. He's good. That's just what they're gonna do. See, the problem with the Giants is we don't suck bad enough to just lose. The Giants are not a bad team. We just got onto a bad start because they want to give us all these fucking playoff teams to open the season. So it's like, and here's the thing: we didn't get normal playoff team pistols. It's not like we got normal playoff team. We got the best of the best. We got the Buffalo, 49ers,
No, we didn't.
Dolphins, fucking
We
Cowboys.
got
Like we
teams
got
that
the
arguably
best of the best.
we got teams that arguably could be in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Like we got the out of the top 5 teams predicted to win the Super Bowl, we got all of them except for the fucking Chiefs and Eagles. Every other team predicted to win the Super Bowl we played, other than the Chiefs.
You could argue the Cowboys could be in the Super Bowl, the 49ers, the Bills,
Buffalo, Miami, all these teams. The worst team we played was Seattle.
I know,
but they have a better record than the Niners.
They're going to make a playoffs.
So it's like, if you look at the schedule,
isn't Seattle in the lead in the NFC West right now?
They lead in the division.
Yeah.
So my thing is, when you look at the Giants objectively, call it what it is. We should be 4-4 with the 3rd wild card spot, getting ready to go on a run. That's really what we should be. It took us a while. And here's the thing too, right? So it took a while for the defense to get their shit together, but Wink Martindale took care of that.
Mm-hmm.
If Daniel Jones doesn't get hurt and Andrew Thomas and JMS don't, like, if the offensive line just started to find its footing a little bit earlier, our offense would be clicking as well. I just think the Giants, it took a while for us to start clicking. I think going into December, the Giants are going to be a fucking problem. If Daniel Jones can stay healthy and this offensive line can just be competent, I'm talking Tyree Phillips at right tackle, Neal at right guard, Pugh at left guard, Thomas at left tackle, JMS at center. If we settle that in the offensive line, Jalen Hyatt looks good. Wandale looks good. The Giants will be fine. If Daniel Jones is healthy and the offensive line is competent, we're going to get that 3rd wild card spot because we're the best team left. Now that Kirk Cousins is hurt, we're the best team competing for that wild card spot. The Saints, no. Bucks, no. Falcons, no. Atlanta, like, come on, really? Desmond Ridder and fucking Taylor Heineke? Jordan Love? Derek Carr? Baker Mayfield? This is who we're competing with to get the wild card spot. So if everybody wants to know why the Giants didn't trade Adoree, why they didn't trade McKinney, why they didn't shop Saquon, it's because the Giants are sitting there like, fuck this shit. We 2 games out of a wild card spot and we competing with some sorry motherfuckers to get that shit.
That's what I'm saying. The Leonard Williams trade wasn't a white flag.
Nah, you have to do that deal because for a 2nd round pick for a guy who we're not going to bring back is something you got to do. But when you look at the Giants objectively, we're the best team competing for that wild card spot. On paper, we are the best team. Who's the best defensive player in the NFC this year, Pizzle?
What are you going to say?
You know it's Kayvon. Quit fucking playing. He leads the NFC. He's 2nd in the NFC in sacks.
Behind
the dude in Minnesota.
You be saying some wild shit.
No, I'm not saying wild shit. This is facts. He's been playing better than Micah.
I'm not saying this particular issue. I'm just saying you like to say wild shit sometimes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just he's been playing better than Micah this year. Like, the dude in Minnesota has more sacks, but Kayvon has been single-handedly carrying a defense this year.
I thought he had a great game. I thought he for sure had a great game on Sunday.
Dude, Kayvon been balling for the past month. Every week, Kayvon.
Oh, the Kayvon hate is extremely ridiculous.
Yeah, so, like, if you really think, then Deonte Banks, in my opinion, is the defensive rookie of the year. I mean, bro, Deonte Banks is playing on a defense that don't give up points, and he's our number 1 corner.
Yeah.
Like, can somebody please address this shit?
As a
our
rookie,
number 1 corner is a rookie playing on a defense that does not give up big pass plays. Can somebody please address that shit?
We really don't.
Like, and he's our number
And,
one corner.
and Garrett Wilson, I know again the weather might have, but he's a great receiver. No problem.
Like, this guy Deontay Banks has been holding it down for us all year, and nobody talks about it. So, like, I'm looking at it from this perspective, man. This Giants team is too good to miss the playoffs if you're telling me our starting quarterback is healthy and his line is competent. His line's got to be competent. Like, if the line can't block, then we're fucked. But if Tyree Phillips continues to play good, if Justin Pugh continues to play good, and you bring back Andrew Thomas and JMS, get them 100% healthy, man, we gonna be straight. Because Daniel Jones can hit Jalen Hyatt. He can hit Wandale. He can hit Slayton if Slayton catch the ball with his bum ass. He could do these things. Saquon Barkley coming out the backfield. Daniel Bellinger. I was fine with Daniel Bellinger. I don't think we're missing a beat going back to Danny B. I don't think we're missing a beat. I mean, Wilder is cool, but Daniel Bellinger played fine for us last year. This Giants team is primed to go on a run if we are healthy. If we stay healthy and the offensive line blocks, we're going to get the third wild card spot. Our schedule is actually easy. We get the Saints, we get Green Bay, we get the Rams.
A lot
we
easier
get,
the second half, yeah.
we get Vegas. I mean, bro, our floor is 8 wins. If you really look at it, right, we going to beat the fuck out of Washington. That's 3. We're going to beat the fuck out of Vegas on Sunday. That's 4. We're beating the fuck out of Green Bay. That's 5. We're beating the fuck out of the Rams. That's 6. We're going to beat the fuck out of Philly's backups week 18. That's 7. You telling me we can't beat the Saints? I mean, really? We can't beat New England, Pizzle?
Oh, they can
I
beat.
see 8 wins.
I think New England's worse than the Giants.
They are, because we have a quarterback. Our quarterback just what the Giants are not as bad as people say, because our quarterback, our line was historically bad the first month of the season. I've never seen an offensive line that bad before in my life, ever. So, Pizzle, really, look at the schedule. You don't see 8 wins?
I mean, it's possible.
Because, like, for real,
I'm not.
we're
I'm
gonna
not.
lose
I
the Cowboys.
100% think it's possible, but they have to prove that. They have to prove it on Sunday against the Raiders.
Okay, so look at it like this, right? Let's look at it like this, right, Pizzle? Let's look at it like this. Let's work backwards here. It's wild card weekend, and we're looking at the Giants record, right? Haven't we lost to all the teams that we were technically supposed to lose to? Like, if you just went through the Giants schedule objectively,
Yeah.
like,
That's what's Chris. What you're about to say is 100%, and I'm with you on that. In fact, even if you want to talk about line, like Vegas lines, like we ain't winning, like we ain't lose a game that technically we weren't we were dogs or favorites in.
I don't think we've been, other than the Arizona game, I don't think we've been a favorite all year.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like we were supposed to technically lose those games, but that's what makes the Buffalo and fucking Jets game so frustrating. It's like you should be 4-4. You should be, but you're not. And so that's what you're saying. Like if you get the ball to bounce a little funny for you and get some wins there, you'd be in a great position. But now you have to do so much work that, like, I'm not saying it's not possible, but you can't slip up now. You can't have that weird game against the Saints, that weird game against the Raiders, that weird game against, the Patriots. You can't have those. You got to it's got to be clean from here on out. It's got to be clean. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you got to beat Dallas or you got to beat Philly, but you do like that last week, assuming that they rest players, which they're going to. So,
yeah, especially with the way the 49ers are playing right now, yeah. And the thing, like I said, Pizzle, I've been negative on this Giants team for like a month now. I have. But now that the offensive line has improved, and Daniel Jones is coming back, Saquon Barkley's back, and our defense is everything we thought it was going to be. Like, our defense is playing like the best unit on the team, and it should be because all of our talent's on the defensive side of the ball. So the Giants have the formula to win a Super Bowl. I'm not saying we're going to win a Super Bowl. I'm not dumb. But I'm just saying, you know what Super Bowl winning teams normally look like, Pizzle? They play great defense, they run the ball, and they have a clutch quarterback. The Giants have those ingredients. Now, of course, we can't win a Super Bowl this year. We're not that good. But I'm just saying.
Here's what I will say too, Fisk, and I know some people in the chat will like roll their eyes or whatever. If you beat the Raiders and then you come back the next week, by the way, you play the Cowboys team that's going to be coming off a Philly game, right? Could be a letdown spot for them, right? Could
That's
be.
why I'm rooting for Dallas.
They
Because
well,
Dallas beats the
if
Eagles, it's
Dallas
definitely
beats
gonna be a
Philly,
letdown spot.
if Dallas beats Philly, it could 100% be a letdown spot when they play the Giants. 100%. It happens all the time in the NFL. It can happen in here. If they do that, and you somehow you beat the Raiders and you beat the Cowboys, you can really start to believe. You can. Like even with 4-6, like you can believe. You can because there's a lot of winnable games left on the schedule, like you listed out. But that needs to it has to start on Sunday when you play the Raiders. You have to win that game. You know, it's funny because I've heard people talk about must-win games all year long. Like they were like, "Oh, the Seattle game's a must-win." Like I've heard that bullshit all year long, and I don't ever believe in it this early in the season. But to me, on Sunday, it truly is a must-win game. Truly is, because you have to give yourself an opportunity to beat Dallas, and it really means something. And it can only mean something if you beat the Raiders. Because you can't go 2-7 and then beat the Cowboys, be like 3. Like you got too much. There's too much work that has to be done. But 100%, if you do that, if you beat the Raiders and you find a way to beat the Cowboys in a potential letdown spot by them, you got a chance. You got an opportunity again. You have something because you can beat Washington. You can beat the Packers. You can beat the Patriots. You can easily see how the Giants can get back to 500 or a game over 500. It can happen. So, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Fisk, but again, it has to start on Sunday. It has to. And hopefully Daniel Jones coming back, now being with Saquon.
I don't
Andrew,
know why you keep bringing up this game on Sunday like it's a like we're not about to win by like 2 touchdowns. I don't know why.
Fisk, I need to see them do it.
Bro, we about to play
Are you saying
we're about
are
to play
you
Aiden O'Connell, bro. Like
Fisk,
stop.
are you
Stop.
saying right now that we should advise everybody that's in our watching right now, everybody should call their mama, call their
I'd pound the Giants like
we
good
gonna pound
pussy.
Giants.
If I was
Pound
actually
the
gonna bet football, I'd bend the Giants over and fuck that bitch till she went to
So
sleep.
so
I'd
we all
fuck that bitch till she went to
we
sleep.
all betting the Giants this weekend.
We
All
are not our defense alone is not about to lose to that fucking rookie quarterback. That's number one. Number two, have you seen Vegas defense lately?
Oh, I know they're bad.
They just lost to some. I don't even know the name of the quarterback they lost to in Chicago.
Tyson Badgett.
Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Daniel Jones is about to come back, hang like 29 on these fuckers. And Wink Martindale is going to bliss the shit out that rookie quarterback. We're going to convincingly win this game, bro.
Okay.
Convincingly.
All right.
This is not going to be close.
Let's bet. Let's just bet on the Giants. I'm going right now to bet on.
Bet on the Giants. That's easy fucking money. And I don't say that often, but that shit's easy money.
Okay.
Every now and again, the NFL will give you a easy fucking bet. Like last week, Tennessee was the easiest bet on the fucking board last week. If you ain't bet the Titans last week, you fucking dumb. So it was like it's just every now and again, Vegas will give you an easy game. And us being underdogs to that random in Vegas is fucking easy. That's easy. If y'all should have took the Giants when we opened as a 3-point dog. Like it's disgusting. I'm not thinking about this Raider team at all. Now I'm not worried about this Raider game in the slightest. I ain't thought about this game all day, and we only win. Check it off. Win. Ain't sweating that shit. All right, it's getting late. Let's get to these super chats.
Yeah, send your super chats in.
Shout out to Big Blue. Remember, supporting Big Fisk is supporting small businesses. At least our defense is young and stout. If we want to tank and get a quarterback, cool. If we want to tank If we want to take Marvin Harrison on neighbors from LSU, that's cool too. We haven't had a game changer offense since OBJ. Hashtag Fisk unit.
We ain't
Listen,
tank.
we're not gonna be in position to get those guys. That's the problem. If Daniel Jones didn't come back, then okay, I'd agree with you. We at worst we'd be a top 3 pick, and we could get Marvin Harrison for Danny at the minimum. But because Daniel Jones is coming back, and our defense is this fucking weapon of mass destruction, and we have on defense, we're gonna win games, man. These guys are obviously trying to get that wild card spot. The Giants are really trying to get that wild card spot. So we're gonna see what happens. Shout out to Reggie. Broke back Broncos beat Kansas City. Anything is possible. That's a fact. I don't even get me started on that.
I think I gave the Broncos out against Kansas City.
Yeah, that was fucking disgusting, bro. Fucking
I didn't know they were going to win the game. I just thought they were going to cover.
Yeah, they should have covered, but the fact that Mahomes did whatever, bro. Shout out to Tomahawk. Tomahawk says, so the Giants are a gatekeeper team. I don't know what he meant by that.
I think what he means is like obviously a team that's not going to the playoffs, but like might prevent teams from getting to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna play spoiler. Yeah.
Like a spoiler kind of thing. And I
mean, because you gotta understand, we're getting Green Bay, they're competing for the wild card spot. We're getting the Saints, they're competing for the wild card spot. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Rams and Washington, they're not competing for that spot. The Washington just sold their entire pass rush. And the Rams, bro, Stafford ain't gonna fucking come back, bro. So it's like, if you look at it, it's Daniel Jones versus Josh Dobbs, Baker Mayfield, and Derek Carr. I'll take my chances with Daniel Jones. For that third wild card spot, it's Carr versus Jones versus Josh Dobbs, because he just got traded to Minnesota. That's who we're competing with for the third wild card spot. And that's what Dable and Shane and everybody, Saquon Barkley, that's what these guys are thinking. These guys are like, we can make that shit. That's really what they're thinking. Shout out to Chief Way. Carl Banks says that the Mariners won't tank. All the best contributors come out of the second round, and we had 2 of them. No, that's a fact.
Honestly, the totality of first round draft picks sometimes are overhyped. Like they really are. There's a lot of first rounders that don't. I mean, if you look back at prior drafts, even recently, there's a lot of first rounders that aren't even any good. There's a lot of good second rounders in drafts. There are. I mean,
Michael Lombardi said it the best, Pizzle, when he said that there's only really 12 to 15 first round picks. The rest of the first round are second, third round picks that get good publicity.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I actually agree with that. I do too.
And I don't know why anybody would think that tank, like if your team wins 2 games, like if the Giants went on just to win 2 games this year, like how could you even have confidence in bringing Brian Dable back? Like I don't think anybody understands how bad it is to have your team tank, quote unquote. Like the message that it sends, it's so terrible. I don't think, like, again, stop. If you want to compare, you can't. I don't know why. I think people have done this because of basketball, Fisk. I think it's a basketball thing. Like, I understand basketball. I get that because there's 5 motherfuckers on the field, on the court. There's only 5.
And guaranteed contracts.
But there's only 5 dudes. Like, that's okay. That's, I get that because you're limited. A football field's got 22 dudes out there, 11v11. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot more dudes out there than just 10 dudes on a court. And if you got one big difference maker, that's something to be said. I got that. I understand. But that doesn't equate to football. Like, you can't look at basketball the same way you do football. I don't understand that. Like, it's not the same thing. So why do it? I don't get how people can look at sports that way. I don't understand that part. That's a part that's always really confusing to me in terms of when I listen to people talk about tank. Like if you've got and I'm gonna tell you one word that gets thrown around way too much, Fisk, is generational talent. I hate that. I hate when that word gets used. I can't stand it because it's so it's so missaid all the damn time. What do you think when you think generational talent, Fisk?
I'm thinking Saquon Barkley.
He's generational talent to you?
Yeah, I mean, well, he didn't pan out because we did. Saquon Barkley is
You
a
think like
generational
so,
talent.
but Saquon is the one of the best running backs you've ever seen in your lifetime?
Hell yeah! Look, put it this way, right?
Okay.
If Saquon Barkley gets drafted to the Jaguars or the Cowboys, right? Because
Mhm.
remember, the Jaguars drafted Leonard Fournette and they went on they playoff run, right? The
Mhm.
Cowboys drafted Zeke. They had 3 Hall of Famers on the offensive line. If Saquon Barkley gets drafted to a team that was in position to use a runner back, Saquon Barkley's on a Hall of Fame arc. If you just swap
Okay.
Saquon with Zeke, if the Cowboys draft Saquon instead of Ezekiel Elliott, you mean to tell me Saquon is it the best running back in the league the past 6-7 years?
Potentially. I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
So yeah, he's a generational talent. But the problem is when the Giants drafted Saquon, we didn't have a fucking line or quarterback. We ain't had shit. So
Mhm.
it's like we drafted a running back and he was never supposed to succeed under us because we didn't have anything. We didn't have shit, Pizzle. We had no business drafting a running back number 2 with
Okay.
on that roster.
And that's fair to say that.
Yeah. So Saquon Barkley, is he a generational player? Fuck no. Because he don't win us shit. But from a talent perspective, hell yeah, he was a generational fucking talent.
I mean, to me, it's like when you see a player play, that's like not necessarily the GOAT. I don't want to say he's like, oh, he's the GOAT, but it's something like I've never really seen before, and like he's amazing. Like I'll give you a comparison, like Shohei Ohtani, for example, in baseball. That to me is a generational talent. You never seen shit like that before. You never seen a guy out there be the number one ace pitcher on a team, and he's hitting in the middle of the lineup. You never see that shit. That's life changing fucking watching someone do that. You know, basketball, like to see, like to me, like Shaq was a generation. Like you never seen somebody be that damn big playing that position. Just when he was like in his prime, just dominating. That's generational, right? I mean,
Agreed.
so to me, it's like, matter of fact, I actually had Fisk. I'll tell you a quick story. I was in a little spot the other day, and I actually had a couple brothers. We were talking basketball, right? And one of them said, "Hey, man, if you were starting a team, like who would be like your if you could pick anybody, like Michael Jordan, like who would you be your team like to start?" And I said Shaq, and they looked at me like they were gonna fucking kill me, Fist. But I was like, when Shaq was in his prime, he was he was he was unstoppable. Like people, like, I know the NBA's changed now. Like I know the game's changed, but like it's all spread out. But Shaq was like fucking the man. Like when I was young, like he was. That's the reason. I mean, when him and Kobe linked up, they were unstoppable, unstoppable, amazing, right? Anyways, I'm just saying. I tell that story just because, like, when you see something like you never seen before, and you see something amazing, like that to me is not. It should be hard to come by. So when people talk about, oh, well, so and so's generational talent coming out of the draft, it's like, wait a minute, are you sure about that? Because I'm almost certain that I've seen this before. I've seen this ability before. You know what I'm saying? Like that word just gets so overused. And so when people are all like, oh, we're gonna blow or pick, it's funny because, and I'm not gonna call any content creators out, but we just saw Chase Young get traded for damn near peanuts, right?
Right.
And remember when that discussion was out there about, oh, the Giants should have lost that game so they could have drafted Chase Young. But shit, isn't that an example of like, well, the tank I mean, they tanked, but it still didn't work. It doesn't work in football like that, Fisk.
No, it doesn't.
I understand you got to have a quarterback, but if you really believe the quarterback, if you really believe that the quarterback is gonna be good, then you should do what, like, the Carolina Panthers did and trade up and go get Bryce Young. Just do that. But this whole tank thing, like, I wish it would be I wish football fans would stop using tank because clearly it is shown to not work more cases than it has to work. It just has. I mean, it's just facts. Chase Young ended up not being what everyone thought he was going to be. Now, can he go to San Francisco and be scary or be that dude? Sure. I mean, it can always happen. But if you thought the tanking should have happened and they should have got Chase Young instead of who they got, well, you were wrong. Like, because clearly it didn't work in Washington. So
Agreed. All right, fellas, it's getting late, and we got
we
to
gotta
get
get some picks.
so. Pizzle, what you got on deck for us this week?
I think I'm gonna kind of do what I did last week. Kind of give out a couple games that I like. I think that's
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
All right. I'll give a couple reasoning so that if, whatever. So I think tomorrow night's a great opportunity to bet the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Titans. You got a Titans on a short week with a rookie quarterback. And to me, it's a tough ask because Tennessee has not been good on the road this season. They've been a terrible road team, and now they're going on a short week. I know Pittsburgh has a tough time scoring, but to me, Tennessee that's a really bad spot for them. And so I like Pittsburgh a lot tomorrow night to cover the points to get the job done in that game. I like Carolina again against Indianapolis. Frank Wright payback game. Playing Indy, getting a couple points, getting some points at home. I think it's like 2.5, but to me, I think Carolina can win the game, so the points don't even necessarily matter. Apparently, we're betting the Giants, so that's self-explanatory. We're betting the Giants. I like Fisk. I like the Cowboys against the Eagles. I want the Cowboys +3 against the Eagles. I think the Cowboys have every chance to beat the Eagles. I think if the fact that they're getting points to me, I'd love to take the points in that situation. It's going to be a tight game. I think Cowboys make a lot of sense in that game, and I think that's going to be it. I might bet Buffalo against Cincinnati, but I don't really know. I'm not really sold on that just yet. But yeah, that's some things I really like this week. Best of luck if you play them.
Me, I'm going to go. Obviously, get the Giants, get that easy money,
Easy money.
and then you got to take the Chiefs, take that easy money as well.
Okay. In Germany.
Yeah, Chiefs after that embarrassing. Yeah, they take that easy money, and then if you want some more easy money, take Minnesota plus the points in Atlanta. They're getting 4.5. Take the 4.5 for Minnesota. And if you're feeling froggy, I'm taking the Bengals.
Okay.
So they're laying less than a field goal at home versus Josh Allen. I don't think you can have a letdown game because the Bengals don't look at the 49ers as an upset because the Bengals feel like they're better than the upset thing that you and I be talking about, like the letdown shit, that only applies when you win a game that number one you're not supposed to, or
Sure.
when you're Joe Burrow, you supposed to beat the 49ers in your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you playing Josh Allen. If anything, the letdown was getting ready to play Josh Allen. That was the letdown. The letdown was the 49ers spot because he's looking forward to Josh Allen. If you really want to psychoanalysis, right? So I like Cincinnati.
Okay.
I would actually the question is, if you're a teaser guy, do you tease Buffalo or do you tease Cincinnati? That's the question. That's the question you got to ask yourself. Same thing with the Eagle game. Do you tease the Cowboys or do you tease the Eagles?
I think you definitely tease the Cowboys.
You know,
But
so
there's a lot of people that don't like Dak and they like Hurts, and so I get
I
that.
mean, Dak owns the division. So I'm gonna be honest with you. It, I'm not allowed to bet. I don't bet road teams. That's not what I do. Only time I bet road teams if I'm taking points. I never bet road teams to win games.
Sure.
This Giant shit is an aberration because this Raiders team is so fucking bad. But for the most part, it goes against my system to bet road teams unless you're Mahomes. So I'm not going to take the Cowboys. I would probably take the Eagles. I'd probably parlay the Eagles with some shit. I think Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, that's a nice little three-teamer right there. That's a nasty three-teamer right there. You know, that's the Fitz Vegas special right there. Short. Well, I know Kansas City isn't at home, but those short favorites like that with reliable quarterbacks, that's a Fitz Vegas special right there. So there's a lot of easy money on the board this week. Just don't watch the game. This is one of the weeks you just bet your shit and don't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Josh, if you bet you bet the Bengals, Josh Allen's going to scare the shit out of you. If you bet the Eagles, Dak Prescott is going to scare the shit out of you. That
That's true.
Dolphins offense, if you bet the Chiefs, is going to scare the shit out of you. Just let y'all know that. Just bet this shit. Do not watch it. Okay? Just don't fucking watch it. Just bet the shit. If you, and like I said, if you really want to feel froggy, do not take, I repeat, do me a favor. Do not take Seattle. Do not fall for that. Don't do that shit. Because when Baltimore wins, they tend to win big. So if anything, you tease Baltimore. Do not take Seattle in them points. I know it looks sharp. I know it looks like a good play, but look what happens to Detroit. You got a West Coast team traveling East Coast at 1 o'clock. The game that I really want to bet that I don't have the balls to bet that I think is going to hit Pizzle, but I don't have the balls to do it. I think the Bucks are going to beat the Texans. I don't think that rookie should be playing 3 points to the Bucks. I just don't. How do you lay 3.5 on the road to a Panther team that's pathetic, lose that game, and then come back the following week and lay 3 points to a team that's better than the one you just fucking lost to?
And you got a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah, I'm not with that shit. Todd Bowles versus a rookie quarterback. I'm not laying 3 points. You had to be stuck on stupid to lay 3 points with a rookie again after losing to Carolina. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have, like I said, I don't have the balls to bet the on Baker Mayfield. No, I don't have the balls to do that again. I done bet on Baker a couple times this year. Yeah. Now I'll tease Baker. I'll do that. But I'm not taking 3 points ain't enough for me to bet Baker. I kiss my ass. Now, if you want to give me 7, 10, 13 points on a teaser with Baker, okay, then now we cook it with grease. I trust Baker to stay competitive, but I'm not betting 3 points with Baker Mayfield. Y'all got me fucked up. But all in all, Pizzle, another great show, bro. This is what we do. Like, fellas, I got a lot of shit going on. So we had to go live early, an hour early. You know, this is a podcast. So I'm gonna be honest with you, Pizzle. I like the fact that we're ending it at 1 hour and 10 minutes because this way people listen to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a podcast. I know it's a live stream on YouTube, but this is actually a podcast that you can listen to on your phone. So I like it like this. Me and Pizzle covered everything. What didn't we cover this week going on with the Giants? We hit everything efficiently. This is good shit right here. So shout out to everybody who actually showed up. To the people who didn't hit the like button, go fuck yourself. Like, that's just fucking terrible. We got like 150 people in here, and they ain't nobody want to hit the like button. Go fuck yourself for real. Like, fuck you. But other than that, Prizzle, it's been real, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything you need to say before we head out?
Good, man. Everybody have a good weekend. Enjoy the games. Hopefully the Giants get a win, and we have something good to talk about next Wednesday.
Like I said, we beating the fuck out of Vegas, so we'll have something good to talk about next week. So, yeah, man, we love y'all. Y'all stay safe, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday.